Really?
Yeah, and he failed miserably last night because he still has not understood that the base is going to vote for him. And every time he stands up in front of a room, he thinks he's talking to the country. He's not. He's talking to his base, and he can't seem to get that through his head.
That's interesting, isn't
Yeah.
it? There's no expanding of that base. I mean, he's still talking to blue collar, white, working class American men, isn't he?
And he's losing them now too, except the nutters. I mean, he has lost in every demographic you can possibly think of. He's losing women. He's losing college-educated men and women. He's clearly lost Hispanics. They're 80-20 against him. I had a great exchange this past week that blew up my Twitter timeline with Ana Navarro, who is a Republican strategist, and all of a sudden everybody decided because she responded to me, the world needed to respond to me, which was kind of interesting.
I saw that.
Yeah, and that was insane. But it was very interesting to see how quickly one on Twitter can see their world literally shift. And I also understand why now that woman who was threatened, one of Donald Trump's accusers, actually left the country because it got to be too much. When people jump on and start attacking. So.
I was very interested this morning. I've read a lot of the, a number of the American papers, and obviously the New York Times, which has a liberal kind of bent. Leading on this whole issue of Trump not accepting the election result. But also, I was very interested to look at the paper in Georgia, for example, which is supposedly is one that you can win. And the Atlanta, Georgia paper is leading on that as well. Yeah. And I think that's almost more significant than the New York Times or Washington Post leading on these things.
Every single headline, and you knew this the moment he said it last night. It was about 3 in the morning when he went after and said, no, I'm going to keep you all in suspense. I'm not going to tell you if I'm going to endorse Hillary once it's all over. So, basically his people have been talking.
What was the reaction of the crowd to that?
There was a gasp. There was an audible gasp. You could hear it over the the airwaves because people were just shocked. Because everybody, including his own people. And then I was watching Nils. What is Nils' last name? But he's a reporter for the Washington Post. Tweeted out, "We're very excited about a lot of activity here in the spin room." And you looked at the photo that he posted, and there had to be 300 cameras, all with their lights on, because it was nearing the end of the debate, ready for the candidates to come out into the spin room. And I mean, it was over at that point. Everybody in the room knew that was going to be the lead in every newspaper going forward.
So he also said he had great respect for women, didn't he? And was that after? And they were sort of sniggering as you are laughing.
People laughed out loud when he said, "Nobody respects women more than I do." I mean, it was just one of those moments that you thought, he didn't really say that, did he? Yeah, he did. He's that delusional.
Did I say that out loud?
That wasn't a thought bubble.